Oh, Dinina, Wonyamina Woni, Sabrebrenaya, Rebrenaya, Wokistoni, Rossi, Urusun Timinia, Rebrenaya, Rebrenaya, Wokistoni, Rossi, Urusun Timinia, Rebrenaya. Rebrenaya, Okistoni, Rebrenaya, Linia Chitini, Fonsubosia, Oya Wabinina, Nawonyami, Nawoni Musabre, Rebrenaya, Rebrenaya, Okistoni, Rasi Urusuntiminia. Okistoni, Yasi Urusun Siminia, Rabranaya, Okistoni, Rabranaya, Miniatiti, Ansubasi, Hadinina, Wonyamina Oni, Sabrabranaya. Rabranaya, Okistoni, Yasi Urusu, Yasi Urusu, Yasi Urusu, Rabranaya, Okistoni, Yasi Urusu, Yasi Urusu, Yasi
Media minimum atwenku American homo. Ewrade ase. Eya sudwe adwene na ye bone de. Se me mamu awipa ene enidaso. Ewrade se wasem didia. Kasa madina yiti. Ewo Jesus Christ din. Amen.
Yes,
Abraham Yakupon Kasa, Isaac Yakupon Kasa, Israel Yakupon Kasa, Everybody Kasa or me blue. Ma Adina, Jesus Christ.
Yes, celebrate. Yes, you have to talk to Crowley. You prove Cassandra.
What can you actually
you prove Cassandra to go sunset?
And you be
Nicole, you have to say, you cut to your chain, same time wrong. Yes, I'm religion from Cassandra. Nicole party, living and son, then out to your children. Because I can't come and give up to someone Italian for party. The Mamma so I young person, this is young program for a person of a country. And say, oh, good evening, we are all welcome to this service. You know, you have busy schedules and I take time to be here. And I'm going to say, I'm sure I'm going to say, I'm going to I'm back, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, Neja, young papa, you couldn't leave me a bema. You walk fine. I'm sure I'm going to say, yes, every now I'm going to say, I'm I didn't see a person now. There was say, and a day so. I have found a see. You'll be a quiet to say, dear Maya, it won't buy a day. You may give me a little show, Namin, sir. If I gave you animal, it won't buy a day and one unconscious. One of my baby asking us, Namin, sir. But I was a yes, I appreciate your yes, you see, I know point. A bibi biara ayo boko. Ya possible. Yet I was sick. Yes, you keep on. You remember I have one pie. Now, it's here. So we're going to invite Reverend Gregory to give us the Bible reading. Good afternoon. Two readings of scripture. The first from the Hebrew text from Ecclesiastes. Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to God who gave it. And from the New Testament, the Christian text, what is likely the most memorable passage in all of the New Testament, John 3. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever might believe in him should not die, but have eternal life. And amazing grace. We are here all in this world. We will be very soon. We are all visiting. And the Spirit will also see the Lord. And we are going to face judgment. This is all.
Asempano na ba His grace. Enkema dachi wonka wonsa. Na wakupwe onyame anim anka se gura bibia. Wakani ya chiro.
We invite our brother Didi Donfa to the podium.
Anamo bena wuti. Yami asim. Somne nyankwa. Obrabe na wubo. Wakenya miasa machiro somne nyankwa. Eridi nana 14 Psalms. Wako fe no ewo he.
His mom at the tender age of 6. His auntie, Madam Amasewa, and grandmother, Madam Awokecha, his mother during his His father, a very wealthy man by all standards, was also very responsible. He had his basic education in capacity, and his in Ghana. Poku was hardworking and was always running errands. No wonder what is that? Though Poku moved from his mother's house after her demise to stay with his dad, he was always in touch with his auntie, grandmother, and cousins. After spending some few years in Kumasi after his secondary education, he decided to move abroad to pursue a career. He left to America through Europe and has been staying there since his demise. In the mid-90s, Poku fell ill and never fully recovered until he passed on the 22nd of October 2020. He was such a kind and affable person. He left behind 2 children and 2 grandchildren. May the good Lord grant him eternal rest.
By Mr. Patrick Mesa. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Greek family, I would like to begin by thanking everyone that is here today. I would also like to thank those that have sent their condolences. We have received phone calls, texts, and in some cases visits from sympathizers, all expressing their thoughts and prayers for us. The message has been both comforting and a reminder to us of the love and impact of the youth on us and others. Thank you. My name is Patrick Mesa. I'm a nephew to a Poku Addai, aka King Samuel. Granted, I cannot speak to Ofedu's 30 years, considering our age difference. I certainly can, in brief, speak to his adulthood in Ghana and in the United States. Ofedu and I
had the opportunity to know each other quite well beginning in 1976. His father, whom we affectionately call Old Man, was known to many as Achansi Kokwere, was putting up a building at Bantuma in Kumasi. I and many of Old Man's young children were laborers at the site. Wofedu was the pillar that held us up there. Years later, when we met in the States, we both realized how valuable the Bantuma experience was. It made for an easy companion. Wofedu was not a distant uncle to me, neither was I a distant nephew to him. He got me my first job in New York City at the Roosevelt Hotel. I lived in New Jersey then and visited him almost every weekend. In the summer of 1986, Wofedu fell ill while at work at the Roosevelt Hotel. Beverly at the time was about a year old. I'm not sure how old Danny was then. 3. Wofedu sought refuge at the home of Mr. Che Parton and Sister Amma in Brooklyn. Mr. Che and Sister Amma and their children have been there ever since. And they are here today. I cannot thank them enough. Wofedu's illness started slowly and progressively got worse over the years. Sad to say, he lived on the streets for years. He refused some assistance and favors, including money. About 2-3 years ago, I got a call from Beverly. Wofedu had been admitted at the MS hospital in Corona. I paid him a visit that weekend. He had fever and the physicians were not certain what the cause was. He was calm. On my long drive back home to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I remember feeling so sad. I said to myself over and over again, Wofedu Pioneer. I kept on saying. Wofedu recuperated a couple of weeks later. Beverly coordinated with the hospital staff, got him his lost immigration papers, and was able to finally put him in a nursing home. On November 22nd, 2020, at about 9 p.m., when I received the dreaded call of Wofedu's passing, I was shocked. He was doing much better at the nursing home than I ever expected this. He had no issues that we knew of. Wofedu was an amazing gift to the family. He was looked up to in the family. He was a gentle giant, cool, calm, responsible, dedicated, and hardworking. He was affable. I cannot remember him ever having a quarrel with anyone. He was a family man and doted very much on Danny and Beverly, his 2 children. The family in Ghana and elsewhere are all extremely saddened and beside themselves since hearing of his passing. I had the opportunity 2 years ago to introduce Beverly to the larger family in Ghana. I bet she can attest to the love they had for his dad. Wofedu, we ask the Lord, be with you till we meet again, as the lyrics of the song in the Methodist hymn book. God be with you till we meet again, by his counsels God uphold you, with his sheep securely fold you, God be with you till we meet again. Thank you.
Now we invite the children to also to read their tribute, to read by the children. Okay. That means taking out that.
I'm Beverly, if you don't know. I'll be reading the nursing home tribute. Upon admission in 2017, Mr. Amma was a very quiet, self-contained individual. But over time, he watched him grow into this loving, caring mannerism that he had. Some of his peers he gravitated more towards due to his bright, beautiful smile. He would occasionally touch them to make sure they were okay. Mr. Amma was a very thoughtful man. Every morning, Mr. Alma would set the dining room table and get ready for breakfast without even being asked. He would always have his paper and sit and read until it was ready to eat breakfast. Mr. Alma was deeply and greatly missed at Holliswood Care Center. Our condolences goes out to his family, especially his daughter and grandson. May he rest in perfect peace. I was a nursing home. I'll be reading my tribute to my dad. If I could write a story about him, it would be the greatest ever told, of a kind, amazing, and loving dad who had a heart of gold. I could write 1,000,000 pages, but I'll be unable to say just how much I love and miss you, Daddy. Since the day of your passing, it has been very hard. I'm trying to help myself. You're in a much better place. You're better off. But another part of me is being selfish. And I don't want to understand why you left me so soon. As old as I am, you still treated me as a delicate flower and never wanted me to lift a finger or even help you despite your situation. When I come visit you, we would walk the halls together. And you would always hold my purse. As old as I am, he still holds my purse. And tells everyone from the nurses, your housemaids, to the janitors that this is my daughter. With pride and such big smiles. And Daddy, I promise I will continue to make you proud and continue to achieve everything we discussed. All I ask is you meet me halfway and continue to watch over Sadie and I. And Daddy, anytime I shed a tear, I ask you fill it with happy thoughts that we shared and all the memories we shared together. Rest in perfect peace and never forget your baby last. I love you always. Love your daughter.
Oh, you'll come a fool, mommy. Oh, you'll come a fool, my world. Jesus, Jesus. Oh, you'll come a fool, Amparo, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. On the pathway, oh, you'll come a fool.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Saber Brown, and today I will be reading a tribute about my grandpa. Dear Grandpa, I love you so much. I can't believe you're gone so soon. I will miss our talk, tying your shoe, taking your picture, and laughing with you. I will miss and forever share those memories we shared, Grandpa. I pray you will watch over my mommy, be her guardian angel, and make sure all of her desires and prayers be answered. She loved you so much and did everything she could to make sure you were safe. May your soul rest in perfect peace, Grandpa. I love you and love you again. Love, your grandson, Sarah.
My name is Jesus. I do Poku Addai first child. Jesus. I've been hurting over my father for many years. And I kept it inside. If you look at this picture in the front, that's me in the red. It's my father my mom. And my earliest memories of being alive. I think back to being in the crib and just watching my father walk back and forth, whistling. It was very peaceful. My mother's real mouthy. Likes to complain, so my spirit was never really at peace around her. I'd have to go watch TV, go to another room. But I could watch this man whistle and sleep. I mean, and sleep for hours. So, there's a picture there where he has a gold watch. And I haven't seen that watch in years. I'm 37. I haven't seen that watch since I was about 4 or 5. But I remember I used to try him on. I used to try to fit into his jacket. It was too big for me, but that was my king. I'd go to work, and I'd wait up all day waiting for him to come home. It's been so long ago, I don't even remember what he was doing at the time, but you know, when the door opened and I saw him, I'd light up. I remember he would take me to go eat Chinese food, and this is, you know, the late 80s. Eating Chinese food was a big deal at the time. He would order beef fried rice, one for him and one for me. And till this day, I could never eat beef fried rice because it never tasted like how it tasted. When he was feeding me, I remember being in elementary school. I wanted a Super Nintendo so bad. I would have died if I didn't get a Super Nintendo. I was begging for it every day. And my mother would just, you know, get out of here. You know, getting a video game for me is too expensive. And then one day he comes up to pick me up from school. And he never picked me up from school, so it was a surprise. He takes me to the Coliseum Mall on Jamaica Avenue. He bought me that Super Nintendo with 3 games. I was so happy. I knew, yeah, I have one parent that's gonna chastise me, but I have another who's just gonna love me 1,000,000%. And whatever I needed, he was gonna have it. You know, I got older and, you know, I started to see him less and less, but I didn't feel any angst towards him. He loved me so much in the time he was with me. I didn't have any, you know, no anger towards him for not being around. We'd still talk on the phone. And when I'd go over to my sister's house, you know, we were a family again. And, you know, I just started to see him less and less. I wonder, you know, where's my father? What's he going through? No one ever told me anything, but I just know the calls became less frequent, less visitation. Then one day, out of the blue, he comes to pick me up from school. He says, you know, we're going to spend the night at my new apartment. And I had just got a bad report card. So when he picked me up, we're walking towards the train station, but we're not going in the train station. Then I'm like, you know, why are we not going in? And he says, you see that report card you got, right? This is your punishment. And he made me walk from Jamaica, Queens to Corona, 6 miles. I was about 10 or 11. You know, I'm fit now, 6 miles is nothing. But when you're 10, 6 miles is like traveling the earth.
cold. It was the nighttime, and in my head I'm hating him for every step we're taking. Why can't we get on the bus? Why can't we get on the train? But, you know, he was disciplining me. And I loved him so much, you know, once we got home, I forgave him. I let it go. He would read to me about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. You know, teach me how to pronounce my words. And at the time, I didn't appreciate it. But I remember. So I guess the memory brings the appreciation later on. And there's a specific day that, like, is really, I believe it's maybe March 11th, March 13th, 1995. And the big news story was Michael Jordan was coming back to basketball. He was going to be playing the Indiana Pacers. It's his return from retirement. I'm a basketball junkie, so I'm a little kid glued to the television. I can't wait to see this. Air Jordan is back. And, you know, the game starts, and then there's a ring at the door. And, you know, my mother tells me it's my father at the door. And I'm surprised. I haven't seen him in a year or two. And when I went to the door, the man that was there was not the man I remember. And, you know, seeing him look like that, seeing how the world had beaten him down. A piece of me died inside that bed. I remember him being a big, strong guy, puffy cheeks. I used to itch his cheeks. And he looked like he maybe lost about 50 or 60 pounds. He had a shoestring for a belt. I didn't know who this was, but it wasn't him. It wasn't him. I wanted to know what happened, but I was too traumatized. All I could do was just stare and cry. You get to school the next day and everybody wants to talk about, oh, did you see Jordan playing? I could care less about what Michael Jordan did. My father was, at that moment, he was gone. He was still alive in the flesh, but the man I knew wasn't there anymore. And I just couldn't come to grips with what he had become. I would avoid seeing him. I remember one time I'm on my way to my sister's Sweet 16, and I saw him in the street, and he called out to me, and I kept walking. I still beat myself up about it to this day. And I internalized it. I acted like it didn't affect me. I acted like it didn't happen. I would just avoid it. Anytime someone would bring him up, I'd leave the room, I'd change the subject. Until this one day I couldn't hide it anymore. My 30th birthday, I just burst out into tears. I burst out into tears. I was on West 4th Street. On one side of the street, there was a bunch of, you know, fake tough guys. On the other side of the street, there was a bunch of very effeminate men. But all I could see was they didn't have their fathers. That's all I saw when I saw both of them. Then a voice said, you know, did you have yours? And I just broke down. So after that I realized I have to make some kind of amends. I got the courage up to go and see him. He stayed in a store on Queens Boulevard. And God bless that store owner. He let my father stay there for over 20 years. I have to go see that man, but he would tell me, you know, your father's a gentle soul, he doesn't bother anyone, goes out, minds his business, comes back. You know, we keep a space for him when he needs to eat. We have water for him. And like the eerie thing about it, there was always 80s music, 80s pop music would be playing in the store. Bruce Springsteen and Bruce Hornsby. And the same songs would play every time I would go see him. And I remember those same songs would play when I would be in the crib. And he would be, you know, just going about whistling and cleaning up, you know. I remember one time I watched him kill about 1,000 roaches. I got up maybe at 4 a.m. The lights on. It's the first time I spent the night with him, and I'm wondering, why is he killing all these roaches? And I didn't realize his genius. He put a piece of peanut butter in the middle of the floor, and when the roaches would come out, he'd spray them. Then he told me he just wants to get them all just one good time, instead of having to kill them day after day after day after day. As a kid, I was disgusted. When you grow up and you got to deal with roaches, you understand. So, coming to see him at the store, I was able to be a little bit more at peace because there's someone watching over him, someone making sure he has somewhere to stay, and that God didn't forsake him, God didn't leave him. We all see how homeless people can end up in this society, and he had people looking out for him. I just wish I would have gotten to know him. I know him in passing moments from childhood. He's left me a big collection of movies. He was really into James Bond. So watching those let me get into a piece of, you know, what was in his mind. You can tell a lot about someone, about what they like. So I know, you know, he had class. I remember I bought a new pair of sneakers and I went to go give them to him. And I'm expecting him to take them with open arms, you know. He's been on the street for a while and he said, no, I need leather shoes. And I'm like, I just bought these sneakers though. And he's like, I still like leather. And I had to smile. I admired that, you know, though his situation didn't define him. The last time I saw him, I just wanted to ask him, you know, what happened? What is the sickness people keep telling me of, but they won't give me an exact explanation? What dreams were you pursuing? What did you want to do with your life? You know, who were you before you had children? And I didn't ask him because he was just at peace watching a soccer game, and I felt like it was more important to let him be at peace watching this game instead of me putting childhood burdens on him. You know, my sister would call me and say, come visit him, he's asking for me. And, you know, I was just so hurt by what the world had done to him. I couldn't take to see him in that state. He was strong as hell. That's how I remember him. I felt like I was walking with a lion when we would go get Chinese food. So I just did my best to compartmentalize, and you don't realize that people walking around breathing flesh are eventually going to end up like that. This is my first funeral, first time I have to see someone that's no longer here, but I'm also at peace because I know he's free. He's free. He doesn't have the yoke of this world on him anymore. The nasty looks people have to give to you just because you're a black man that's breathing. He don't have to deal with that anymore. So that restores me a little. I wish my daughter would have gotten to know him. They met once, but she was only 2, so she doesn't remember. But the look he had in his eyes when he was looking at her, it's never left me. So the best I can do is just be a better man for him. I know he's watching me. I know his mother and father are watching me. I'm seeing their pictures here today. It's the first time I'm seeing these people. It's a whole piece of my history that I don't know about, that I've never seen, that I've never experienced. So I want to use today to, mend those broken ties. I would say 3 days after I got the news that he passed, I was leaning against a wall outside, and the biggest fly in the world just came and stood on the wall next to me. And this fly is huge, but it didn't move. I got closer to it, it didn't move, it just stood still. And then a piece of me was like, maybe this is my father's spirit. Just calm as always, just telling me, be still. Be still. I could go on and on about, wishing he would have been able to teach me certain lessons a boy needs to know to become a man. I had to get lessons in harsh places from people who didn't care about me. Always wishing, where is he? But he was going through his own thing. And now that I'm grown, I get it. I get it. So I would just like to give a lovely rest in peace to my father. And I know you're with me. You're with us. You're in this room. And until we meet again, God bless your soul. That's it.
Trees in the deep sea, oh Lord, we thank thee. Oh yes, we thank thee, Lord, for every flower that blooms, birds that sing, fish that swim, and the light of the moon. We thank thee every day as we need.
We thank God so much for your for us. Na yɛtua so wɔ ya nɔfrɛ abusua nananom akamfa yɛ papa yi ho yi mepɛ sɛ mefa meti mmiɛnsa pa yi sɛ wɔ asɛm bi ɔnyɛntifoɔ bi ka asɛm bi ɔse ɛbrɛ. When we talk about time, we're talking about time. Ɔse ɛbrɛ, there is time for everything. There is time for leaving and it's time for leaving the head to another earth. The Bible is talking about heaven and hell. As we Christians, we are just doing transit. Bibi a wɔ asase wɔ esi bi a wɔ yɛ. Onyame abɔ yɛn. Mmerɛ bi bɛso, yɛn nso yɛbɛda hɔ te sɛ yɛn nua panyin ɛda hɔ yi. Ɛna ebisa ɔsɛ. And him, and I said, brother, so small. Why, crowd now? Are you ready? When the truck comes right now, my brother's leaving. I see a bread in your mother saying, Sabri will know Christo. Shall see your Christian. The son said, as I see it, in nearby, a boy brother brain, and what you know something about it. Of a life, so Titum now, or free, a chance to go back a deal, and to go back to the Jomo, our circle, group runners or cop, is your wow, won't like whatever to show. But who need now? Sanyanina, Tinia, Johnny Hall. Two can for bro. In Brazil, say a war. Sakwan, Ubeti, too. Sabria, or Queen, the can want some beverage. Say a war. Cardasia Ben will be your farm. And maybe the song in Ireland, you have a call. But see, you see, say Christo Banna. But continue to know. A bear and more. Nasa work of a year, over tall. Nasa work of a year, over issue. Heaven is real, hell is also real. So ask yourself, when you leave this earth, where are you going to spend eternity? Is it heaven or hell? If you know, if you know, you Christo, you know Christo by a bravo. Into one more, Christo. A crowd and better no check. The answer was honestly a sasso. And we have some young said, of Sankabu 3 years, or see a feet and bread. The dear one a bread. It's soon one a bread. If you do one a bread, and now one a bread. It was here on a bread. Saying, I'm some kind of say, I didn't know, and pass it on a Christian. Yes, you know. Arabo say waja eniho nia eniho nanso ni nyame pe na hoye je ye nyame pesa me no kan say emre oho ti siesie mo sie enche na Kristo wa amen ye tun sa for we invite Reverend Gregory to also share a small sermon with us.
Might be called old-fashioned virtues of hard work, pride, humility, determination, and respect. 5 characteristics that are almost in contemporary America just words on a page in a book. But he lived them out and passed them down to you so that you know that whoever you are, whoever you hope to become, is largely because of the time and patience and energy that he poured into you. In short, your dad, Grandpa, knew that life is a gift, something to be shared, not a possession, something to be defended. So he didn't have to live it defensively, but rather quite freely, quite givingly, quite joyfully. And all of you here were the beneficiaries of his giving, as well as many others who, for whatever reason, are not here. Because of age or distance or health or these perverse circumstances we find ourselves in worldwide. Or, of course, those no longer with us, in whose place you are. What else can we say except that death is not the enemy we youth-worshipping Americans so often make it out to be. If death is strong, love is stronger still, and is what unites us in ways that the power of death cannot destroy. So the finish line for Jane. The finish line was not at the nursing home on October 22nd. If a lamp went out on that day in that place, remember this, it was only because, at least for him, the dawn had finally arrived. Amen.
Reverend Theodore so much for a short message. And then we have to go away. Papa, I agree. Let's share it. So I'll say, let's say no one else. Now that we're on that time. I'm show you I'm concluding to one red. I'm concluding to one more. Say, do you was so moved? You better how you better teach Biara. So, who people talk new a young papa do a new and your room no beer. Yes, you deem your can't share. You won't pass a radical short Peter and ma of us here and you know a common moon teach you one red. In one, I didn't know wow. And even you know, and Yasida any can never move you. In some young put now by year, and did a episode. A jar of Parker show, sir. For so I did here, and even you pay a bit show, and show it. Yet I was sick again so I did here. Oh, yes, you dear Munty. Amen. You will find say, Obu at the Gavia. Professor Odijay Pine. Amara Swan. They are at the Syrian Wetuma. So we at the Syrian.
For software, and young Bushna Mosha, but shall move on as no friend of crack. Now, I'm fair, I'm very, country. And one fan so a year, so if you talk. And found say you walk a big dream and I say you walk country. The basically a kind of fun, I hear no many and country. Now, Miss Fair, a Diana, and this year I said, who former some family crack. Any I knew. The SC and the actor any, to say, they tried, and she said, we did not have. Yeah, bar. If you have an ahene, assure for this year, 18 and Medina, and then the mark, only the Bushia, and then the mark, 18 and Medina, say, yes, sister, fear, Panahene, we're here, and the Shama Bruno, the young power. Any obey, it's now a time of bar, and she and lying in the bar is kind of garden, and fear they be a pusher, said, Poku Addai. And yes, I'm afraid, and I said, only in your bed, Madame, your Poku Addai, almost a pattern at that and penny. I'm afraid I am singing. Yes, young Bushia, your mamma, and said, young Bushia, now, in your bed, I do for Kuyan, and said, you're not chassis for what they this year kind of. Young ready to young say with me, I'm a giant. Say, I can't chassis for what they're in fire. It is a me back. And nothing about me. Into me, I want to show, yeah, to show no such a form. Now, I come once in the day, name the and I can say, obey my Poku, a family or dampen me, a busy Poku. I'm near Poku, or this year Poku and dampen me. But I chicken where a chincha, and I never said, bear or that way, and then you packet. You know, very February, and this is the area of now, yeah, we are there. Obedience so war and war. Obedience so war for like a woman or companate so for war grab on call our maybe say the top of an article and continue war. And Kayama no component or war military. Yes, so I did our American away. To the air can say, when I make for crazy, now baby, I could be then you say, and check. The air used to fly away in Australia, no Russia. The enemy now saw some when he came. The apple did go Abraham. And I go for baby, I was saying, new paradise. You know what I push now. And we did not have, then we are bar, said the big car and sister Fiona Hene. Poku telling some, and you bring and soldier. I think I said, the basis in my semi by or not done on this one. Send me bring a soldier and they will say, the little soldier, a children. Poku telling me a soldier for and then handkerchief, any shades are there, Kawa so. Or the map, Nadaf, the Doffo. Say, on Jake. Now, do go on a sensio, ɛkɔm anaasɛ bibi hia na kɛse ka ɔde ayɛ ntiadeɛ ɛde akɔ na owiɛ no so owiɛ ɔtaa ne ba n'akyi deɛ bɛsi biara no yɛnim sɛ ɔbɛgyina hɔ ade ama ne ba no saa na bɛbiri ɛyɛ akosua sɛwa Poku Addai ɔne ne nua bɛrima Daniel Poku Addai ɔmo sie ni yɛnyɛ ɛnim sɛ ɛgya anaasɛ ɛno ɛgya wu a ɛba esi dan ɛde ne tena mu ɛmɔfra yi ɔmo ayɛ ready ɔmo asi dan deɛ ɛsɛ sɛ ɛfata sɛ ɛyɛ amammerɛ biara na ɔmo ayɛ ɔmo sɛ kuta ɔmo nsɛm afe bi ɛsɛn ɛne handkerchief kawa ɛne hyɛntiadeɛ ɔmo de saa ntoma nso kata ɔmo papa so ɛnyinaa ɛnim sɛ awo wɔ mu wotu kure na awo wɔ mu ɔmo fa nkata ɔmo papa so na ɔsrɛ busua sɛ ɔmo fa nkata so na afei ɔmo fa handkerchief no ne kawa ne sika no nyinaa nso ma ne papa na sɛ oduu kɔn mu ne sɛ ɔdeɛ bibi a ɔde atɔ saa na ɔmo nana nso ɛyɛ ne nana papa a wɔn da wɔn adusi Poku ɔpoku ahweneɛ ne nana no mmienu a ɛyɛ ne mma yi ɔmo nana ɔmo mma Sylvia ɛne Saida ɔmo se Saida ɛyɛ mo bɔɔko di ɔmo kɔfɛ yɛ ɔmo da Africa fɔ ntutu bɛrɛ maa mi fɛ yɛ ntumi wɔ yie ɔmo nso kuta ɔmo nsɛm afi bi ɛsan ɔmo nso ɔmo nana afi ayɛ ɛsan ma wɔn kɔwɔ na ɛtum yɛ nifa na ɔmo nso tum yɛ bonku ɔmo wɔ aho yie ɛmɔfra yi sɛ kɔwɔ nana ntena hɔ ne ka afi yi a ɛbɛ yɛ yɛ tan green kɔwɔ kɔ ɔmo nana ɔno kɔwɔ kɔ sora ɔmo nana na afei buro nyɛ nso kɔwɔ ɔmo nana ɛdi na nana anyɛ bi akɔ ne nana bɛtɔtɔ ɛdi ama wɔn ti mɔfra nso kuta saa ahyɛntiadeɛ yi ɛne ntoma yi sɛ ɔmo nana fa nkata no so na awo ba awo ɛnkyɛ awo yi bɛba ɔmo nana fa nkata no so na sɛ yɛgyina ha na esuo mu ɔde hyeɛ ayɛ sista fia banahene ɛne ne mma akosua sɛwa a yɛne ɛfrɛ no bɛbi ɛne Addai Daniel Poku Addai na ɔmo gyina ha na ɔmama nseɛ no ananma aduana twerɛ abrade mmarima a wɔnim te sɛ obi wɔti kɔde sɛ obi anim na yɛgyina ha madaroma deɛ nti yɛgyina ha yɛano asi ɛda ma
Nia, yɛyɛ no yɛkotɔ wɔn yɛkasa mu na ɔhɔ yɛ ntɛm nti yɛpɛ sɛ yɛkyerɛ wɔn aseɛ na ɔhunu nea yɛyɛ no ase. First, what we did was a tradition from Ghana. When somebody passes away, the family gives the person half piece of cloth with a ring and money so that he's traveling to a different world. So when he gets there and he's thirsty, he can buy water or anything that he wants. And the clothes that was given to him also to use to cover himself in such a way that there's cold over there. So that's how our tradition goes. So loved ones, friends and the children always present that. That's why we did that in our Akan language. So when you see something like that, it's not that anything so big, it's a tradition that we did. Thank you very much. So we continue our program. The veterans are praying here to you. Now, Baba Das.
Good evening once again. I think I'll mix it up with vernacular. It is said that everything that has a beginning has an end. That doesn't mean that the program for the day is over. However, we believe that we've all spent time with us out of your busy schedules to come and mourn with us. We appreciate that so much. And on behalf of the entire family, I want to say thank you so much for your time and attendance. I pray that the good Lord continue to shower His blessings upon us. Grant our dad, uncle, grandfather eternal rest, and hope to reach all of you again in the next stage of our program for the day. Begamun Namasi, Sabubai, Nakubo Shade, once again, thank you all for coming. God bless you.
Better achieve. In your point. If you also have to yeah, I feel now in your share and Sikasa. Say, because you know Sikasa. Near Jerry, kind and you right. 102-11 42nd Avenue, Corona. King in a moment, you say, ever back name, Lakuja in your point. Like I said, from here, we are all moving to 102-11 42nd Avenue at Corona for the funeral ride. So I wish we all go and support the family in doing that. We thank you very much for coming. As we know, we all pay our last respect. We'll start from the back. We'll start from the back, we go through the south, then just look at the body and then move to the back. So we'll start from the back whilst and then we also appeal to everyone, try to sign your name on the book at the corner, please. Just write your name and sign. Thank you. Yo, this is interesting. I am on fire. I'm ready to see me very well. It all sick. I don't fall. Again, and then you come. Or don't you know what you tell you? What we just said. What you have here? If you have what don't they extra? Say, can you know? Make media to show me, and yet we need. Ni au send you shoot hello. The slow set but Basa ye to Gumay. And you mean now shoot here. You know you the show be. Let us see. So it's oh yes, unity. Shall you share this together? In the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit, be with us now and life. Surely, goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life, and we shall dwell in the house of God forever and ever. Amen. And we shall
Poku Yes, you know. I am a word. Says you know. Money baby. Says you know. Hey Daniel, so money sidina. Yes, you know.
Okay, I don't know if you want to put them in your fire. If you need to tell you, now, you put in a half in group of I told you, watch man, I just said, Bishop, yeah, I'm sure we see how my now you're open for you, say, I'm from one track, near you and your home, and I'm all happy. Did kind, you and I'm looking for it, a year separate, Timpo, continue, Ofia, you Tina, Jerushalem, Adama, you are Nincheso, your Nana Bima, a year from a shop, Nkosoyama, and Sofia, Naima, and Wakawa. You, I'm saying, additional brain, and I know any the very you can say, young Wakawa, my baby, it must send your dog room, now your papa, you know. You are your downfall, a coin. Yamisha, you could so near said my country is you will be implemented. And Sina Muna until already, boy, you never promise you, Massatianga, you don't say. na obato ne djuma so yo emse mensa bre nya nintie nyina ye hia wa ha eye ye papa ye ndofo ye nua adamfo Inti Nangri Yeshawaha Absia a free Antoine Ayangasa Edipoka, one year where we call Absia. Now I'm saying, yeah, come, and never want to see a Chelsea go there. I just say, Mom, this is from Guruna for me. A young Mangasa, Sabi Neba and the neck, or done a brain from sea. In our air was Santino time here, but Yama remember a Santino time. Ashtown, dear, yet your friend of Lupoku. Now, Bruni. And a friend James Amon. Edia Edupokune Nim and say Yawono. A pim a hand grown at your watching, at your noon and watching, 1958. Naya Nabrawa, and no appear na oni opini a chassis for Guada, and say I transantino Talia. Opinion here and I say that when you are at here, the Nabranche, Okosu, Atresia, we are a real school at Tresiano, or yeah, a Jumacra, a Muano, now, in here, and I can say, over 2 times. Okay, until we're here, the crowd, a few no big group. America men na batwa na bravo so America men no wa odi ejini juma yare kakra batuno enuma na se odiji na homi obum se owo therefore tenisa batuno pom October I dare to show a 22nd of October, a fear and I've done the good so. And see, I'm Siamobaya. Now, you're going to talk for Sabaya, Ubun, Benyabi Kakra, Wati Kakra, Inia, a Dupogu, and home, in Papa, a chassis of Guardia on your baby call. Ona neba nti wo baya awusia se mamu ni etia ehia ye mamu nyina kwawa ebusora adwuma ya toso se nyam kan no ti bibia ho yewo bibia bi ofia se wo de hu ye bibia na wa frami se wo ban so se obi mawo amade bi so adaroma Robaya Tipani, and so what the man of a true being, now yet Chian, Fred Nayakawasi. So when you begin to order woman, Meba, now yo, send only and DSS, social distancing, yes, your door so hard. I see all waiting to see. Now, for any business now, Sabaya, I'm not coming in here. Indeed, now, no, a quite very already general to me and until now, I see. Yo, the answer of Piano, you and sound up a double. I know she would go to you of ya, Tio. Oh, my dear, yo, don't say something you or I said, when you were so near Poku, our wife, a wedding great TV. This episode will be when Timia with me grandma. Okay, now share your Cosibia. Indeed, our life, I don't know, and what you money, sir. Until you something away, Said you was young, I quite a bit of a chair, ready. My own call. Yo, Setre, now, moving on, and you go, and I want to say.
Pasa asabi when the be so. Pamucho, Umyamba Abushay. Make a celebrate. Namin no more. I mean, some of the Presto, a mobile Salama type of Shay. Pamucho social distances no more money in Juma 6 feet. Over now, church in now almost share. And yes, I start to have you one by a pie. When you might get entity, or what you want to perform what was that. We are now. We are more saying, na na ogbo fa na paka in the sea wa gba no a we see the bushande the woni nche da ogbo na paka no ba the sea of transit no and I go say e woni nche we are more saying we are go so back to mo shira wo SDJ last we pray.
Mano da group, if you ever